What's so funny?
All right.
Oh, Anish just wants to laugh for a while. That's right. He did tell us.
He's gonna take some laugh time.
Oh, I've been holding this in all weekend. I've been holding this in all weekend.
The thing is, I don't know if you're laughing because you were thinking about what Purdue did to Iowa, or if you were thinking about Spencer Petras being a 4-star and throwing the ball like he's like they secretly. Remember those Folgers commercials? We've secretly replaced the football with a medicine ball. Let's see if Spencer notices.
Oh man.
Mercy.
What a weekend! Oh, what happened? Did you guys do anything? Were you up to anything? Did you watch anything good?
Not much.
No. See, I got to tell you guys. So I'm in SEC country right now. Yearly trip with their family, and I watched the game surrounded by people that had no idea that game was helping them. That's the way I was. I was like, guys, this is a good thing for you. Yeah. This is a good thing because this is pretty much. I mean, it's making the Big Ten in a worse position for the playoff. So you clowns should be right alongside me, but they weren't. They were just staring at me every time I yelled at the screen.
I love you walking into the South Carolina bar. Excuse me, can you put on the Purdue game, please?
Pardon me. Yeah.
I would like to see Iowa football, please.
It was awesome. My brother, he got to the bar before we literally drove into town to see the Purdue game. Like we stayed.
Yeah, I think you drove the wrong way.
we stayed in Kentucky so we could get there by kickoff for the Purdue game. And so we get in there at 3:15, 3:20. My brother's been there for like 25 minutes. He's already squatted on a TV because every other TV is, with SEC games. And there's a woman there who has already asked to turn to CBS for the Georgia game. And my brother's like, no. This is our TV. We've been waiting. I've been spending money. We're watching Purdue, Iowa. She gets all pissed off. She's with a girls' weekend here in whatever.
Off to a good start, making friends right out the gate.
That was awesome. And so I didn't know why she was so mad. We get there. She's already angry, and she's mad at him. It was great. And she was mad the entire time.
I hope they're staying in like an adjoining house to yours. Every morning.
Adjoining houses. We go like the J Money route. We're a freestanding house here. So.
Oh goodness.
Oh, so only I get made fun of when I go on vacation. Got it. It's okay for you to rent a big house. But when I do it, it's because I'm rich.
He only had Dad only had his private driver drive him out there. He didn't have the private plane or copter, I suppose. It's within copter range.
Remember levels?
Remember like a month ago when we said if they won at Notre Dame, we would commit to all going to the Iowa game?
Oh, that would have been so... No, I think we said Nebraska.
No. Did we say Iowa? Because we said the next road game.
We did say the next... You did say the next road game. You're right.
It was Iowa. And then we were all like, oh, man, none of us can make that game. That's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
You would have had to drive 13 hours in the other direction.
What a great weekend. What a great day of sport.
Awesome.
I tried.
Awesome.
I spent an hour and a half trying to convince you both that Iowa were frauds. We're absolute utter frauds. And I came so close to calling that upset. But you didn't. I chickened out because I thought.
Ryan, do you see him inching his way over to it? I pretty much called it.
Hey, listen to the tape. The whole time it was Iowa were frauds. Their defense was great, and their quarterback was terrible.
You were more here. I'm going to give you credit.
Purdue will lose.
More
you finished it with.
Yes, you were more positive.
Yes, no, I wasn't more positive. That's the thing. I wasn't more positive. I said Iowa was garbage, absolute fraudulent team, and that there was a path to a victory. And yet I didn't have any faith because our lovely offense scored 13 points for 3 straight weeks. Right. So why,
I'd like to ask you to put Michael Hogg's I forgot to add that comment there. I'll read it. Michael says, I forgot to add that I've been saying since August Purdue was going to beat Iowa, and everybody said it was crazy and it was the dumbest statement I ever made. Who's crazy now? Well, Michael, you still are.
I mean, we're all crazy.
Yes. Yeah. I'll answer that for you. Yeah. You are still the crazy one.
And it's okay. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Imagine rooting for Iowa.
That's the whole thing.
I read, I'm sure you guys do this sometimes too. After Purdue has a win like this, you go see what the other blogs are saying. And they were very, very complimentary of Purdue. Like they came down hard on Iowa, very hard, but they actually went out of their way to say, like, this is to say nothing. This is not to say Purdue didn't play well, because Purdue played amazingly. One site said, I actually don't think any team's going to be able to replicate what Purdue did game plan wise against Iowa the rest of the year. Everyone left on their schedule. They said Purdue was set up well for this. They have a good defense. They have David Bell. It's like a cheat code. They had a bye week to prepare for this. They said they did everything right.
Well, the first time Jeff Brohm beats the genius that is Kirk Ferentz, you can call it luck, and then the second time you can say, "Oh, it's just a thing," and third time it's, "Wow, I can't believe it," and maybe the fourth time, yeah, sure, they finally came around, huh? You think 4-1 isn't a fluke? Oh, that's interesting, Iowa blogs.
Well, the funny thing, there's something to be said about matchups and teams being what they are, right? Because there's no doubt that Iowa has tendencies. Iowa does things a certain way. Purdue does things another way, and the matchup works. Jeff Brohm believes, the coaching staff believes. They totally believe every time they play Iowa that they can beat them. And seems like they not only can, but they will beat them, right? Coming into the game.
Take credit. I'm going to say, what did I say last week? Ohio State comes to West Lafayette, and Purdue, the program, the fans, nobody's afraid. Purdue goes to Iowa. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what iteration of it, they're not afraid.
I really do. If the offense showed any kind of fight, I think multiple of us would have called this game against Iowa.
If I thought they were going to score 20-something points, I would have said real good chance to win.
I get this. It's just insane. How is Kirk Ferentz still around? How is he still doing this?
He's 12-3 in his last 15 games. Do you know who 2 of those 3 losses are to?
Jeff Brohm, David Bell.
The trick, I think
he lost to David Bell.
I really do think it was close. I think Iowa just edged him out, but I think David Bell had almost more yards than Iowa did.
Oh, he might have. That's a good.
Yeah, I really do think that it was Iowa by like 10 yards.
Let me ask you guys a question, because there's a couple things that I thought were turning.
Iowa is a joke. Yes, that is the answer to your question. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, think about this, guys. Let's all think about this. Okay, Purdue being up, like Jay did call one thing. He said, I could totally see Purdue getting a score, getting up early, right? And so I was like, look at Jay coming. He's got this thing unlocked. And I thought right away I would come back. Iowa comes back. It took them a little bit to even it up. Purdue gets a field goal. Purdue, they missed a field goal in the second half. But with 3 minutes left in the first half against one of the best defenses in the nation, Purdue just went right down the field on them. Like it was nothing.
It's almost like
it doesn't make any sense.
When you run an offense that was built for 1986, and you are completely inflexible and you do not make any kind of adjustments and you do not adapt, and Jeff Brohm has 2 weeks to plan for you. Yeah, it seems like every time it gets,
one of the
he's not scared.
One of the Iowa sites said that Kirk Ferentz coaches almost like he has an active disdain for offense in general. Like, it's not just that he's coaching like an old, it's like he doesn't like it. Like, no, stay away. And
it's a fad that's going to run out, and the offense in a couple years isn't going to matter.
Here's a quick stat. Until that last interception that Petrus threw, which it was hilarious because I'm pretty sure in like a real time of 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure he threw 3 interceptions. Yes. It was hilarious. Yeah. But until that last pick, Cam Allen pick, it was the only time that Iowa threw into the end zone. So to the Boiled Sports Analytics desk, can I ask this? Do you need to get in the end zone typically?
Hold on a second. Let me put a call in with the interns. Give me a second. They usually get right back at me. Hold on.
They scored 1 touchdown.
By the way, 240 yards to David Bell, 271 yards to Iowa.
He almost... Well, his 3 games against Iowa are hard to believe that they're actually true. The 580 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns in 3 games.
A really good season by a normal receiver.
And but it's all against Iowa.
Imagine if. Oh my gosh!
They're a good defense, though. It's hilarious.
They're good.
He just
They're
fires them up.
They're legit
There are
defense.
people out there who choose to root for Iowa. They choose to do this to themselves.
But I think Iowa's like, I remember a comedian once saying that like they grew up in, like I grew up in Nebraska, and then when I turned 18, I learned you were allowed to leave, something like that. And it's like I feel like Iowa fans they don't know yet. They don't. That's all that's there. So they're like, cheer for Iowa, I guess. I don't know.
It's absolutely insane because this is the fun year. This is the fun that Iowa gets to have. That's the thing. At least we do this.
Rowdy. Yeah.
At least we do this, and we know that when Purdue is bad, they're bad. Like, we know this. When Purdue is good, at least it's fun. At least it's a lot of offense, a lot of yards, good amount of points, 3 quarterbacks rotating in every other play. I mean,
I like how that started, and we were like, "What the hell's he doing?" Oh, all right. It's like they used to. Boy, I used to do the. It was like when you played basketball at the co-rec, and there was did this sometimes. You'd take that 30-footer, and somebody on your team would always be like, "No," and then goes in like,
goes in.
Good shot. Yep. All right, good job.
That's kind of what that was like.
And now I'm feeling it. Here comes another one. Next possession.
AOC called it. AOC said it was really fun because it felt like a hockey game.
Yeah,
like it felt like a lineup change, and he was like, "This is awesome."
Neff shift over the boards. Come on, guys, get out there.
Hey, by the way, I got word back from our interns. BS Analytics Desk says you do need to get the ball in the end zone to score.
Tremendous. Just tremendous.
I don't know.
This is the best season that Iowa's had since 85 or something like that. The last time that an offense, anything in the offense, isn't Brian Ferentz, by the way, the offensive coordinator? Anyway, no way.
The same last name as the head coach?
It's such a common last
name.
I think
it's a different spelling. I think it's a different spelling.
It's unusual that would happen.
One has a Z,
you think they're
one
related?
has an S.
You don't think they're related, do you?
No.
That would be, what's it called?
Nepotistic. Yeah. Can you do me a favor, Anish? Can you bring up Chris Harder's limerick? Just because I haven't read it yet.
Before you go there, I just want to let you know. So I put on Twitter, I said they could send us anything, questions, topics, limericks. And I always like when I did the haikus, I always half am excited and half, nervous. So, do you want to read Chris's limerick?
Yeah, let's try it. I don't know. There was a man from Purdue.
You got to get some. You got to get some rhythm into your voice, man.
Okay,
jeez.
Come on, Irishman. Let's go.
There was a man from Purdue. Last game, he lost his shoe. His name is David Bell. He gives Iowa hell, and DBs never know what to do.
Oh, beautiful dramatic reading. Beautiful dramatic reading. Yeah. Snaps to you.
Well, Chris, you start the show with the with some really deep art there. We go all the way. We do everything 100% around here, and
absolutely.
So there's another good point in the margin here. Ken says, "Did you guys know that the Purdue planted the flag
almost
in the center of the field?"
So they ended up doing it.
I know they ran.
I saw them,
and he ended up doing it in the end zone, or like whatever, right off the field in the end zone. I don't care. Yeah. We should do that every game. Win or
We've
lose.
had this conversation.
Every time we lose, we should do that too.
We've had this conversation among all of us that the NFL penalizing for taunting, it is so ridiculous because it's so what stupid. Every one of us would do if we got anything right ever against our friends is taunt them. So the fact, I'm sure none of you care that, like when Baker Mayfield was forced to apologize for planting the flag at Ohio State. No, Baker, don't apologize for that.
No,
say no. I had fun in their face. We beat them.
Big damn deal.
Yeah, hilarious. Get over it. Stop them.
11-point underdogs, 11.5-point underdogs. That parlay of Purdue covering the 11.5-point spread and the under 43, it's the easiest money.
That was taking candy from a baby.
Just the easiest money, because what is Iowa going to do? Score points?
Well, like we said, I mean, no, that was based on Iowa's defense doing what it did all year, which was averaging like 3 interceptions a game, and them winning a game 17-3. That's what that was based on.
Almost like the interceptions and takeaways that Iowa got were kind of random. They were stacked against them, and they were due for a little bit of a regression.
You think?
And it's crazy how that works. Crazy you can't count on 4 interceptions per game to fuel your offense.
I loved so much about the game, but one of the things that was fun, and it wasn't even the most fun thing, but it was that Purdue out-Iowa'd Iowa. Purdue played much better offense than Iowa ever does, but their defense was like has been all year.
Okay, good. This is a good thing. Let me ask you guys a question then, okay? Because that's a great segue, and I'll tell you, I think you'll see why. When did you know Purdue was going to win?
All right. Well, this goes in stages, right? We've all watched enough
This is the
games.
problem, though. Yeah, I agree with in stages, but there's one thing
where you're like, okay, the interception on their first drive made me feel sudden, like pretty quickly, like, wow, that's really good. Purdue then, of course, does not score a touchdown, which is like, oh, that's the Purdue I know. That's right. Yeah. Okay. When Iowa missed that chip shot field goal, I felt pretty good. Actually, now I'm a Purdue fan, so I was talking to someone about how with 3 minutes to go, I still was.
Oh no, I didn't feel nervous.
I did the minute that
because
I saw,
I'm like, this is Iowa. This isn't
the
Ohio
minute
State.
that I saw
once it was
that
2 scores.
Offense was creative, and Purdue went up a touchdown. I was like, you know what? We still might lose, but like, it's going to be close.
They're going to be nervous.
I'm not nervous anymore. Like, it's Iowa. What are they going to do? Adjust?
And they acknowledged that during the game. They said, "Can Iowa come back from 2 scores?" It's like, wow. Your offense is bad when teams are saying that.
Year? Yeah, I mean, like, what's
football?
What's his name going to do? I've completely forgotten his name. I will never think of him again.
He's not good.
He's
terrible. I have to tell you,
he's not good.
We
all knew that though coming in. We all knew that he was not good. Okay, so for me, the moment when I knew Purdue was going to win was that defensive stand. Like that was, I was like, okay, that's over.
Right after
that is it.
Right after the worst rule.
They stuffed him twice.
Yeah.
When they went to 4th and 20 or whatever the hell it was.
No, the 2 rushes, like the
two rushes on. Right, was it the 20 or something?
Yeah. Speaking of adjustments that are never made, it's 3rd and 1, and you run 2 quarterback sneaks, 2 of them. And not even like they ran them quickly. You know what I mean? It's like the reason that I think what he did was he was like, Tom Brady gets all of these. We should just stick with that. And the reason Brady does it is because he's like, he gets them off rhythm, or he does it really quickly.
We dress like the Steelers. We should do what the Steelers would do.
And so but what they did was I'm pretty sure they had 6.5 minutes in between snaps between those 2 quarterback rushes. They were like, you ready? Everybody ready? Number 5, you ready?
Defenders all set?
You guys, you good?
Check ball. We good?
Sporting check ball. Just give it back. All right. Well, you said it in the post game, I think. You managed to bring up Bob Diaco, managed to get a little Diaco reference in there because when you look at this defense,
Bob Diaco or Iowa, who is the bigger fraud?
I mean, this defense isn't just better, but like to your point about them reacting after the worst rule in college football, fumble into the end zone, that you have a good defense when they're almost like, give it to me. All right, fine. Great. Throw another challenge at us. Now we're just going to shove it in their face and push them backwards.
That was when I think it started to get like, hey, maybe we are going to fumble this away. And you know what happened after that? 1, 2, 3 plays and a punt.
Yep.
I mean, like, not even, it wasn't even close.
They went backwards, I think. I think they were 4th and 10 or I'm sorry, like 15 or 20. They were backwards.
It was so bad. How does Iowa, how do you
Iowa?
This is their fun season.
This is their fun. That's the great part. And they're probably still in East. They're probably going to be 10-2 because the rest of their schedule is nothing.
My point is like, if Purdue were to ever win 10 games, which may not happen until I die, we know that 10-win season is going to be super fun because it's always going to include offense. If your 10-win, 11-win
your kids are going to love it though, Anish. Your kids are going to love that.
If this is how you get to 10 wins,
guys, they might not lose again. Seriously, listen to this. They're off this week. Then they go to Wisconsin. So, all right, not a gimme, but who knows? At Wisconsin, at Northwestern, versus Minnesota, versus Illinois, at Nebraska. They could go 11-1. They could legitimately go 11-1.
They play in the Big Ten.
In almost all of those.
They play in the Big Ten, whatever. Big Ten West, the leaders, legends leaders.
Legend leaders, yeah.
Legionnaires.
My favorite legionnaires.
Purdue, the
Legionnaires' disease.
Watch Iowa, Minnesota, and Purdue all freaking win out. Oh, that can't happen because Iowa plays Minnesota.
It's
Right.
insane. This is not to talk about that Kirk Ferentz is just a tremendously horrible human being, but it's like the football. This is the football that you sacrifice all of your morals for? It's hilarious. Hilarious. How?
So Purdue is ranked. Oh, by the way, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
That was a long cold open. So Purdue was ranked. Let me throw some things at you. They were last ranked in 2007. Joe Tiller was the head coach. I know you guys know this, but saying
my
that out
son
loud,
wasn't one yet.
I had no sons.
Not one.
I had no children.
Purdue beat Iowa so bad. We went from zero votes to the 25th ranked team in the country. That's how bad David Bell beat Iowa.
That photo, which we need to include with this post. Mr. Stein.
Andrew Stein.
His handle is Pittsburgh Stein on Instagram.
Go follow him. He's got some.
He
some
works
good
for Purdue
ones
now.
up.
He is a photo. If you find him on Instagram, he has more of his Purdue creds there. For some reason, he doesn't have it on Twitter. But that picture of Bell not only stiff arming the guy, but looking back at him while the Iowa guy is like crumpled. He must look like a car crash.
Wrist is broken.
Like his arms all bent, his head's in the turf,
doing
and
a full scorpion.
The pellets are flying up.
Yeah,
it's so wonderful.
So good, so good.
So 2007 was the last time they were ranked. Joe Tiller was the coach. Anish was, I believe, in high school.
I was in freshman. No, that was my freshman year. CurtisPainter12.com.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You were on campus. Okay.
Yep. CurtisPainter12.com. That was after the Notre Dame win. When Curtis Painter, instead of taking a knee, he did that 3-step drop back and just kind of like fell to the side. It was hilarious. Yeah. We all loved it. Terrible Notre Dame team, but let's not worry about that. Yeah, they weren't ranked second in the country or anything.
Right.
Purdue. I think what was it? It's Ramsey, the guy who tweets for. He goes. The secret to beating Purdue is not being ranked in the top 2. You fools.
You arrogant fool.
You arrogant fool. Yeah. I love that Purdue's developing a reputation for this. That there was a whole thing. I think it was in the Athletic about this. Purdue, is what Purdue does.
Purdue has twice the amount of wins as an unranked team against number 2, specifically against number 2, than the next team. 16, like we are so far ahead of everybody else. No, that's top 2. Purdue has, I think, 8 or 9 against the specifically number 2 team. The only as an unranked, the other one, the next on that list only has 4. There are these. It's even like most wins versus a top 2 team. It's like Alabama, Ohio State, USC, Notre Dame, Purdue.
All have a very rich heritage of national championships. And success versus high rating.
Meanwhile, the other college football's other chaotic team is Pitt, and they are ranked number 23. Which is where I work.
Everything you touch turns to
chaos.
Gold.
It's chaos. I am the agent of chaos.
Knows it.
Oh my gosh.
Agent of chaos.
Purdue beat Iowa so bad that they went from unranked to breaking the longest unranked streak in the country.
How about this? Because we all talked after the game quite a bit, and during the game we were going back and forth. None of us, it didn't enter our thought that Purdue would be ranked. And then all of a sudden I was like, are you flipping kidding me? People started texting me. I was like,
I forgot until J Buddy just said it.
You forgot they were ranked?
I forgot because we would have led off the podcast with that, but I haven't thought about a number next to Purdue's name in years.
I didn't know it was allowed.
I didn't know it was legal.
A fun fact there. The iPhone was released in 2007 for context, the first iPhone.
Yeah, somebody put that on Twitter that the iPhone 1, I believe, was released.
Mercy. So I was rocking a Moto Razor at that point.
Yes, me too. I was married in June of 2007. And
I may have had one of the thin razors as well. Not the big ones, but like the thin with the vertical display. Yeah, with the what was it called? T9 type texting where you have to hit each key 14 times.
I never did that. I never did T9.
All I would do is like, okay. Y, N. That was it. There was nothing else happening there. I was not texting yet.
Oh my gosh!
And I was marveling at people that were actually texting. I was like, "What the heck? These kids."
You're like, just call
never going
them.
to catch on. No one's going
Just
to
call them on the phone. Why would you text them?
Exactly.
Oh, God bless you, 2007 Joe Tiller. The last time that we were ranked, that's crazy.
Whew. That was also crazy that Purdue had the longest. Was it 5,000 weeks or something insane like that?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the longest that of a Power 5 school.
Of a Power 5, yep.
You start thinking, and you're like, wait a minute. Freaking Kansas has been ranked.
Yeah.
Rutgers has been ranked. My wife started doing that. She's like, Rutgers? I was like, stop. Just
You don't have to name every single one.
Don't start doing that. When you can even name schools that you're like, come on, Purdue's not worse than those.
Well, that's the funny thing. I had my dad and brother start saying Vanderbilt. I'm like, yeah, they had Franklin.
Yep.
Vanderbilt was good for a little bit.
Like
Rutgers, the first Shiano era. UConn with Edsel the first time.
By the way,
Rutgers was ranked in 2 different areas. I guarantee they were ranked 2 different eras there.
They were ranked in like 05 and they were ranked again in like 12.
05 was the first.
That was the Shiano.
Yeah.
IU had multiple coaches that were ranked during that period.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
did you see the list though of the current like top 10 longest streaks? It gets recent very fast because 10, but on that list is Florida State. They haven't been ranked in 3 years. 3 years.
How long is Norville? How long has Norville been there?
That's what I'm saying. How could you be there that long?
This is second year, right? Is this his second year?
Oh my gosh, who's the Western Kentucky guy that went to Oregon? Or not Oregon. He went somewhere. He was Brohm, the guy right before Brohm. Who was at Florida State?
Yeah, I always liked him.
He didn't get Florida State ranked.
Willie Taggart?
Taggart. He's at Central right now, Central Florida right now, doing absolutely nothing.
Florida State.
Yeah,
he did poorly, but
very poorly. Yeah, yeah. So I got to eat at a restaurant that's owned by Western Kentucky grad, and he's like, you Purdue people owe us a lot. You guys, we gave you Gene Katie and Jeff Brohm, and I'm like, well, let's. Katie is a culture maker, right, for Purdue. Like literally, changed the culture of basketball. I'm sure we saw the first step of Jeff Brohm changing the football culture and kind of taking the reins from Tiller, right? I think we saw that on Saturday. Mm-hmm. This was the pivot point. This is the thing that we've all been waiting for, the inverse of the Wisconsin game. This was it. Here, guys, I will say this though. We all said that he had to do a couple things before he could, move the program forward. And one of them was beating a ranked team on the road. So check off the box.
Wasn't that
national title?
Wasn't
that
on your checklist this year? Wasn't that on one of your
yes, it was.
Was here's something he has to do?
Yes, it was.
Vortex says you guys really don't think this. You guys really don't think this was a fluke? Is he talking about Iowa or Purdue?
I don't know because he's only beat Iowa 4 times. He's only beat Iowa 4 times at all various, and this isn't the first time he's beat a ranked Iowa.
I'm sure he's saying Iowa's a fluke, right?
Iowa is a fluke. Iowa is a fraudulent fluke.
Here's the difference with Purdue.
I was gonna be in the top 10 at the end of the season.
Probably, but they're
going to be 11-1. They're going to be in the playoff.
They're not going to be in the playoff. Here's the thing: they've got to beat Ohio State to get in the playoff.
No, I know. Yep. They're going to be in the Big Ten title game.
There was another really good tweet that was like Iowa, we want to be like Ohio State. Then everything else, like Purdue beats face.
Kevin's got a good point here, and he could bring this up.
What? They're a crappy fish?
Yeah, because everybody knows nobody must put fish on the grill. So it's like the comparison. It's like they're crappy fish. Nobody eats fish.
Do you think
I've actually been eating the hell out of fish down here? I've been eating so much fish. I've been eating grouper and redfish. And
you're fish guy? You're a big fish guy now.
You made a big
I'm fresh fish guy. I am fresh fish guy.
You're big fish guy.
Yeah, exactly. There is a huge difference. I don't eat lake fish or river fish.
You could catch fresh lake
ocean fish.
Oh, you're ocean fish guy.
I'm ocean fish guy. And I will eat salmon in Oregon as well.
You are pretty
out of that river. Put it on
Well, man of the people over here.
You catch by Pittsburgh. You can catch some 3-headed fish in the rivers if you'd like. Volleyball is ranked 6. Basketball is ranked 7. Soccer is ranked 19. Golf is ranked 22, and football is now 25. Is Purdue the best athletic department in the country? Many people have been asking.
Mike Babinski is a genius.
People are saying, yeah, Mike Babinski, man. How about that hire? That's looking pretty good right now.
Yep.
You know what's awesome about him? I haven't thought about him at all. He's just been doing a great job. This is what it's almost
That's
like
what a good administrator does.
Yeah,
right.
It's just like, hey, put the attention on where the people need to go. Make sure the machine is running great. It's all good. It's awesome. Oh, what an enjoyable flip to the season. Every year, we said this last week. And we were, again, this is why if Purdue would have scored more than 13 points and shown any sort of offensive life in the last month, I think one of us, all of us maybe, would have really called this, was that, we were saying that once a year, Jeff Brohm reminds us, oh, hey, this is why everybody was super excited when I was, when I was on campus, and everything else is like, bad calls or bad luck or injuries or what have you. But once a year it is. And Dowd, you were saying when will it be? Like, what is the game that we're not supposed to win that you guys think we will? And I think all of us are like Michigan State, they're fine. Wisconsin, they're down, which by the way, I am not calling a win against Wisconsin. Spoiler alert. I just can't.
I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I feel a lot better about it now. And I'm the one who said last week when you said, I was the one who raised that and said, what's the team they're going to beat that they are supposed to beat? And I said I leaned more towards Wisconsin than Iowa. So,
here's the thing. And if we transition into the preview for this, 2 really good offenses, 2 awful defenses. The difference is that Paul Chryst, for as flopping on the deck of a fish as he is a coach, he will make in-game adjustments. It seems like he is a decent coach. It seems like he knows how to adjust to game plans. It seems like he will probably watch the tape.
Do his impression. What does it look like Paul Chryst is always thinking?
All the time.
He looks like
always confused. Always confused.
He always looked like he just saw something in the stadium that he didn't like. Who put the?
No, he's like it's like he was a fan a couple minutes ago, and somebody's like, "We need a coach, like a doctor on a plane."
You're on the field.
They called him on, and he's like, "Me? Now?
All right.
I'm a PhD, but sure, I guess.
Okay, I'll give it a try. I don't know.
He's a fan.
Really? I'm the most capable? Well, you're a big lummox. You look like you should be a football coach. So
a big lummox.
You got a central casting for Wisconsin football coaches. So come on down here.
I'm telling you, the difference between those two is that one of them will actually watch tape and adjust, and the other one will just sit there and hope that the thing that got them there is going to.
Who are we talking about?
Continue.
Ferentz and Chryst?
Yeah, Ferentz and Chryst. It's ridiculous, and the amount of
Chryst doesn't adjust anything on offense
more than Ferentz does.
No.
Wisconsin hasn't adjusted on offense in 25 years.
No.
You know what was wild? You know what was wild from the Iowa game before we move on to Wisconsin? The offensive line dominated Iowa.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like Purdue's offensive line dominated.
O'Connell had all day to make this, and he didn't take
forever. Got sacked one time,
when he needed it. When he needed it, the one that they just they stunted right on him. And like I said to you, I'm okay with that one because. Yeah, he didn't have time to really make a decision.
No,
I'd rather do that.
Can I do something, guys? Can I do something? I like doing this. I want to do this. I'm going to apologize to Jeff Brohm and Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah,
but let me tell you guys, Aiden, Jeff, I know you're listening.
Of course.
Okay. My apology only lasts about 5 days because you guys got to prove it again. Let's go.
You did acknowledge.
It's a what have you done for me lately world, boys.
I think you did acknowledge Jeff Brohm may be a better football mind than yourself. At one point, you were criticizing me. I will say he's probably better at football than me.
He might be.
That said,
no, but I'll apologize. I love being wrong. I think we all love being wrong about this stuff. All right, O'Connell played great. Jack Plummer is a rushing quarterback. These are facts now, right? These are just things that are.
Of all the 3, yes, it is wild that AOC is 6 plays. 3 different quarterbacks got 2 reps each. That is, and AOC was awesome. The one with the rushing touchdown.
Awesome. But he also fearlessly and flawlessly carved up that Iowa defense. You can say whatever you want about Ferentz and that offense. Let's check the numbers, shall we? 30 of 40 for 375, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. Holy moly.
It was so simple. So simple.
That's incredible.
It is.
He just carved them up.
Purdue had 6 plays that went over 20 yards. Every single one of them was a pass. And how many of the have you seen this stat yet?
No.
From Golden Black, how many of them do you think were to David Bell? Out of the 6 passes, how many were to David Bell?
2.
Boiler down.
It's gonna be 6.
Shoot, I really don't know.
5 of them.
Oh, he's good.
He's not bad.
I thought it was a trick question, and then we were going to be.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say 0. Like,
it seems like it's not bad. 1 was to Brock Thompson.
Boy,
dude, Brock Thompson's the truth.
How about another
really good
that guy?
How about another thing I'd like to give credit on the show here? The Boiler Dad last week, I put it in our group chat. AOC throws a beautiful deep ball. And then he threw, it wasn't necessarily a deep. No, it was. He threw that deep ball down the middle.
He threw that. He threw
Bell. Oh,
yeah.
That's perfect.
Dropping the bucket, baby.
Iowa's defense was
So
very
nice.
good, but they were missing, by the middle of the game, they were missing their 2 best cornerbacks.
Yeah.
One of whom is a legitimate pro.
Is Purdue missing any cornerbacks?
Yeah, Purdue's got some
One
injuries.
who's a legitimate pro, I'm going to say.
And they were still single covering David Bell and giving him cushion to work.
Right.
This is the kind of thing where I'm like,
that's arrogant. That's the hubris you deserve to pay for, right?
3 games now of David Bell killing you. Like, how?
Hey guys, I'm on the big. Hold on. I'm on the Big Ten statistical website right now. Okay, and I want to. It's pretty easy to say, like when we can talk about fluke and we can make fun of Iowa, and that's all fun and good. On offense, Iowa statistically is the 2nd best offense in the league, and Iowa's defense is the 2nd best defense in the league.
No,
and they're the 2nd best offense.
Their offense is not the 2nd best. Their offense
is overall offense. This is
you have it sorted the other way. They are the worst offense, and if they are not the worst offense, and they are listed as
they are not. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not. I mean, this is scoring offense.
Going into the Purdue game, they were the worst offense, the lowest scoring offense, and the lowest points per game or the lowest total offense and the lowest points per game in the Big Ten, which is why I was like
31.4 points a game. I'm looking at this, and this is like
they beat the hell out of Maryland. They skewed it.
Number 1 in the conference is Ohio State, 41 points. Then
terrible.
Iowa, 31, and then Penn State, 29.8.
They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible, and they're awful.
I'm reading it right here. I'm going to give them all the credit in the world. I'm taking this a different way. This is awesome. Purdue's amazing. Iowa's amazing. This is just a sign that Purdue's probably going to go to a January 1 bowl. And
I'm seeing a lot of Pinstripe Bowl, by the way. In all seriousness,
dude, I'm seeing like Outback and Cap One now.
Yeah. Oh, I saw Purdue Clemson a matchup, and I was like, "Oh, that gives me the heebie-jeebies."
I want all that.
Something. Oh no.
That I don't even know what you're talking about. Purdue hadn't played an SEC team in a bowl ever. I don't think.
Oh no, they played Georgia.
Oh yeah, there you go. They played Georgia.
That was 21 years ago, but
that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been another one.
25-0 at half, and then Tiller said, "Boys, take the second half off." Great job.
We've been to
guys,
SEC. We've been to SEC country together, but I don't think they played an SEC team that day.
No, it was like some sort of pep rally.
Yeah. We had a good time.
Yeah. Our buddy Mike from PU Fall Cities had some bourbon for us. I remember that.
That's right.
The band
don't
was
remember
there.
much after that, though.
No. The band was there, though. I do know that. And I think the cheerleaders were there. But I don't.
The drum,
it was
maybe.
Cool. I assume it was a John Purdue event or just Purdue Athletic. I don't know. I don't really know.
Who knows?
But it was fun. It's good seeing you guys. Always is. So. Yeah.
Oh, Iowa.
So they're gonna go to the Capital One Bowl.
So the last time this happened was Ohio State, and Purdue went the next week and lost to Michigan State. Now, Purdue went the week after that and beat Iowa, so that was pretty fun. Purdue beat Iowa 2 weeks, or Purdue beat Iowa 2 weeks after Purdue beat Ohio State. So that's a pretty funny bookend back then. But this week, they're not a great Wisconsin team. They're eminently beatable. It's, very similar to what Purdue just did to Iowa, could be the game plan. It's at home. We're underdogs as ranked, like a newly ranked powerhouse.
Oh, I haven't even looked. What is the spread on this game?
3 to Wisconsin.
I think
Wisconsin's favorite.
I'm not offended by that at all.
No, not really.
As you guys have said,
Wisconsin.
until you see it happen, you don't believe it's possible.
No.
So 3 means, it's like a touchdown game.
We were saying.
Hey, by the way, I figured out why Wisconsin was so highly ranked, or Iowa was so highly ranked in this thing. It was like it's old.
Maryland.
It's old.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like.
You're correct, and I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like 2017.
I'm reading.
That was Ricky. That was Ricky Stanzi. It's like
no,
Ricky
Stanzi's
it's
from 1909. These are stats. I don't know why I'm doing this. I gotta stop huffing paint before I come on the show, guys. I'm sorry. Literally, I just figured out why I'm doing it. They're old stats. So, yeah.
Oh, from the last time Kirk Ferentz drew up a game plan.
But I'm gonna dig in on this though. Iowa was one of the best teams in America, and
I don't know about you guys.
These stats that are not up to date, the old stats,
they bear it out.
They
bear it out. They tell the story. All right, Anish, and I'm gonna go with these. I'm gonna go with these.
I don't know if you guys have gotten this, but I've gotten this both from some work people, and I think I saw it on Twitter too, where you got the great win, but Iowa's not the number 2 team in the country. Okay,
all right, thanks.
They were that day.
They were that day, and it's okay when we say it because we knew Iowa were frauds. But we beat the number 2 team in the country. Do not come in here as number 2, except if it's Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State will ever lose to Purdue again. I don't think. I think we've got their attention. I do not want them as number 2. No. I want no part of this.
I think
they don't need it. But a lot of here's the good news is you have to have. So Ohio State could easily get past Cincinnati. Who else is in front of them? There's some teams that
Georgia.
Just is impossible.
Yeah. Cincy is number.
Georgia's
Cincy's the number 2. Cincy's the number 2.
Is Cincinnati going to make the college football playoff if they win?
I hope so.
I think they'll find a way to screw them over.
Man, this year there's no other good team. Like there's Georgia, and then there's everybody else, and everybody else is kind of not great.
Alabama's that good. I know they lost.
Sure, Alabama's
that good.
There's the team that Ohio State cannot jump over. Right? It doesn't matter what else happens. They will not get past Alabama. Alabama will push up against Georgia, and so Purdue's going to be playing a third ranked team. Ohio State.
Did they lose to Oregon?
Ohio State lost at home to Oregon.
How did that happen?
I don't know. No one can figure that out. Nobody can figure that out.
I don't even remember the game.
It was like the second game of the year. It was very.
Well, the funny thing is Ohio State couldn't. There were chunks of the game they couldn't complete a forward pass. Literally,
they were in bad shape.
The offense was bad.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
And now they're completely different. They're all retooled and everything's fine. And it's the same.
I still think.
Weird thing.
I think sometimes guys like Ryan Day love that because it's like now I can just beat you over the head with this loss for the rest of the season.
I bet nobody was happier that Alabama lost than Nick Saban. I bet nobody was more thrilled.
Because he knows they're still going to make. He knows the path is still there. They're back to 4th already. Yep. If they keep winning, they're going to be in the playoff. Absolutely.
These stupid losses give that man life in his. I know exactly. Yeah. So
and Jimbo proved he's worth every penny, man.
Future LSU coach Jimbo Fisher.
We haven't even talked about Ed O. I knew he was going to be fired.
What a loss!
Gumbo Grizzly Orgeron.
What? Speaking of great,
loss to humanity for Ed O not being at LSU.
I texted to the group chat future Nebraska head coach Ed Orgeron. And I couldn't stop laughing.
We all want that.
I told you, how many years have I said Ed Orgeron, professional interim coach?
It's perfect.
He will whip your team into shape. They will love him, but he will get results. He'll be the fans will love him, the media will love him, and he'll win 5 or 6 games down the stretch, and your team will be 10-2, and you'll be like, "Whoa, this is
USC could use an interim coach right now. Maybe he should. Has he ever done that? There are a couple photoshops of that going around. It's weird.
He was 6-2 as an interim coach, and then didn't get the job.
Really convincing photoshops, Anish. They're really good.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's like maybe USC fans want Ed Orgeron. They've got him like being held up by USC fans. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Really lifelike.
No, it's insane. It's 2 years after maybe the greatest season in college football history. It's very strange that LSU is going to do that, but that's what happens when they hire a new athletic.
49-17.
Do you guys know to get if LSU wanted to go and get Jimbo Fisher right now, I'm told it would cost $99 million.
No, so here's the funny thing. He can walk away and they don't owe a dime. He doesn't owe them a dime. He has no buyout.
Right.
Wait, so this is all it's the best contract ever is what you're saying.
It's literally it doesn't make any sense. He gets the moon or he gets to leave the moon and go to Mars.
On a rocket made of cash.
None of it makes sense.
On a rocket burning cash made of cash.
On a rocket burning cash as fuel, but with a golden parachute.
But it's made of gold coins that have been melted down.
If LSU wanted to pay him $10 million a year, they wouldn't have to do anything.
But say, we'll pay you $10 million a year.
We'll pay you $10 million a year, and he would have to want the job, and he would leave, and Texas A&M would have to go hire a new coach. Wow. They wouldn't get buyout money. They wouldn't get anything.
It's going to happen, isn't it? That's it.
It may.
Oh, it's going to. And his genius agent is going to he's going to say, I need the same type of terms.
Yeah.
If you want to have this sweet, always getting beaten by Alabama business we got over here.
Perfect, amazing. The greatest win in the history of college contracts is that A&M win against Alabama.
Yes.
He needed that too. Man, did he need that.
Yes, he did. I mean, goodness gracious.
The yacht was getting a little, substandard, so he needed a new one. You're right. So this next one is going to pay him the next. It's crazy. He has no buyout. It's wild. It's absolutely
and the inverse is also true. There is no buyout from the school. It's the whole contract.
Kevin Spry's comment. I think this is true. You got to bring that up. Kevin Spry's most recent comment.
Jimbo is too close to gumbo for it not to
happen. Nice work. Good job.
The other thing is Rolovich fired from Washington State, so now the worst job in Power 5 is open. Go ahead, enjoy.
Any thoughts as to who their first call should be? Well, I mean,
Tom Allen is still out there.
Tom Allen probably wouldn't go to. Actually, he probably wouldn't go to a school like that because Indiana has a better job than Washington State.
Much better job.
IU's a way better job.
We're saying that.
Oh, IU? Yeah, there are a few jobs that are better than IU or that are worse than IU, but Washington State is absolutely one of them.
Hey guys, while Jay's eating, I want to thank one of our sponsors. Whenever Jay has a snack, I always think of our friends at AJ's.
You should talk.
EatAJ's.com. When you're on campus, have Jay's favorite burger and a pint and watch a game. Give our pal Adam a yell and go to AJ's, EatAJ's.com. Tell him Jay's Snack sent you.
Indeed. The real snack time. What if you wanted?
I'm the king of the segue.
What if you wanted a soft shirt, Boiler Dowd? What if you wanted to get some Christmas shopping done, like I did today? What if you wanted to get some early shopping done, or you have a gift that you need to get a Purdue or any other athletics?
There's two places that I go for Christmas shopping.
Where are they?
Online.
Oh.
MartinVintage.com. I enter Boiled at checkout. By the way, they've got some new stuff. They got a new shirt. You should check it out. If you haven't been, they updated. They had new shirt on there. I've actually ordered the new shirt. Actually, no, I ordered a different one. I ordered a different color. But the new shirt, you guys should check it out. MartinVintage.com, enter Boiled at checkout. And then, of course, you call Derek, you call Paul. If you've got their numbers, you can do it because I've got their numbers. But if you don't have their numbers, you go to Martin Vintage, or you go to gridironmetalworks.com.
You almost stuck the landing.
I did. I almost had
You
it.
can't get any gridiron stuff at Martin Vintage.
No, you cannot. You cannot do that. There's no laser cut metal at Martin Vintage, but there is laser cut metal.
Laser cut metal shirts. They should get into the athletic apparel market.
They should. The durability would be amazing. It wouldn't be as soft.
but it'd be bulletproof.
Why does anybody sponsor us is the question. But if you go to gridironmetalworks.com and you enter Boiled at checkout, not only could you get discounts on Purdue stuff, Anish.
Oh yeah.
You can get discounts on if you've got a friend who went to where tell me maybe
let's
so
say
my dad's
the other chaos chaos engine in the country, Pitt.
You could if you're my dad's he's an Army vet, you could get Army on a laser cut spatula. Shoot, why not?
Why not?
Gridiron
Indeed.
Metalworks.
I just dropped a good amount of money at Gridiron Metalworks and used the code BOILED for 15% off.
15%
You should too.
off.
What a number.
By
What
the
a
way,
number.
Mercy.
Let's get back on track here. If you scroll back a little bit, I want to go back to
how can you get better than my commercials?
Kevin Fry's comment at 2103. He says, World Sports Analytics Department, the nation's leading analytics department for statistics from another century.
That's right.
I just wanted to go back and dunk on the Iowa stats from whatever year that was.
Iowa.
Listen, guys, here's the deal. It doesn't matter what stats they are. It just showed the facts that Iowa's the greatest team ever and Purdue beat them. And so
supports your point.
I'm going to go with those stats. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
George Karlaftis had maybe his what is the lead off of his professional tape, of his.
So he gets the sack that we've all been thinking he's going to get. 10 hurries. 10.
He was just a menace.
Now, here, let's go one more. How stupid is that?
Menace.
But how stupid is Iowa for trying to not double and triple team him every down?
They didn't give any more attention to Karlaftis or Bell. It is wild.
It's the same thing as sorry. You just completed. I didn't know you were going to say Bell. Yes, they took the two guys, and the level of arrogance in that coaching staff is amazing.
It's amazing. So you had this is a great week. Whenever you have this happen, it's an incredible thing. But having the offensive and defensive players of the week from the same team, that says a lot, right? So you have Cam Allen, not even Karlaftis gets the defensive player of the week because he gets those 2 picks in the closing minutes, and of course Bell with his superhuman 240-yard, almost a record, right? He got close to a single game record, but he didn't quite get it. The thing that when you watch Bell play, I mean, I used to think it was Reggie Wayne, but now I think it's Marvin Harrison because he does everything so easily. It looks like the game is simple. He turned that corner on the court on that one cornerback, and then he's running away from 2 safeties, and he doesn't even look like he's trying. It's incredible. It's an incredible thing that he does, and catches everything that comes his way. He's it's great. It's great that now it feels like his Purdue time, because I feel like they have such an inside track on that bowl game. I was like, man, you got to get this guy to a bowl. You just have to. You got to give him as much credit for what he's done at Purdue as you can, and this is a real good chance to do it.
So 2 things. One, we talked about the photo of the game by our guy Pittsburgh. What's his handle?
Pittsburgh
Stein. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The second photo that would have been the photo of the game on any other day.
Oh yes,
it may have been, but for us Purdue fans, the David Bell thing was probably better. But 69, Greg Long 69, taking a beer can that was half full beer can that was dumped onto the court and dumping it on his face as he taunts the crowd, the silent Iowa crowd. They're polite. Iowa fans will try to tell you that they're polite and they're really good. They're salt of the earth kind of people. These are the values that they have.
Man.
Meanwhile,
freaking teeth are out. Holy smokes! I've never seen him like this,
and he won't let up. He's just relentless.
The fight is over, Anish. They called it.
Yeah. I want this for you.
Throw in the damn towel.
He's the Russians in Rocky IV. Just keep punching him in the face till they're dead.
Keep punching him. Just the bloody pulp of the.
I want Frost. I want us to beat Frost like this, and I want this for you. I want this feeling that I have for you.
I mean, this is vitriolic, and I think the thing that's jarring for me is that there's always someone Boiler Out or I are angry at, and so that's not uncommon. You are never this way.
No. Kirk Ferentz is a terrible person and a terrible football coach. I am never going to let off against Iowa.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Get out of here. By the way, 2 different ESPN whatever power rankings, the FPI Football Power Index, I think is what it stands for, and the S&P Plus both project Purdue for about 6.5. So 6 or 7 wins is the most likely place now that Purdue ends up. Yeah.
Wow.
So right now, and
Stupid computers.
FPI has Purdue as a 90%, 89% to go to a bowl, and S&P Plus is 79% to go to a bowl.
Yeah, they've got 4 wins and they've got 6 games left. So
half the season.
Yeah,
if they don't get to 7 now, I'm going to be pretty damn pissed. I know I can do this. I can be fickle and change my mood.
You can.
But they got to get to 7. They got to get to 7.
So let's just Let's just pretend like that November 13th matchup against Ohio State doesn't exist.
Right. That's a good idea anyway.
Yeah. We got
don't send anybody there. Don't send anybody. Nothing
good
comes out of
don't go. Send the JV team.
Don't go.
Yeah,
send the best flag team at Purdue.
Yep.
They're going to destroy us. Wisconsin at home, at Nebraska, Michigan State at home before it said bye week. You would hope there's one there. That would be nice. One would be nice.
There's one there.
There's one there probably.
There's one there.
And then after that bye week, it's Northwestern at Wrigley Field, and then home versus Indiana. By the way, I accidentally at the beginning of the game promised my homies in Chicago that I would buy tickets to Chicago and to the Wrigley Field game if Purdue beat Iowa. And
you're going to be at that game, and you're going to be sitting about 40 miles from the field. These baseball fields are so well designed for football. It's so good. You're going to have such a good time. I mean, I hope you like these people because you're not going to see the game at all.
I don't need to. It's like the UConn game. It's great to see it. But
the good thing is, though, being outdoors in Chicago in mid-November it's gorgeous.
Oh, it'll be warm.
Nobody's ever made a mistake going to listen. I am a man of my word.
We talked about this preseason. I want to know how they're going to lay out the field because the last time they did this, they were so damn close to the brick outfield wall they couldn't play in that direction. So I have to believe I'm assuming they're going to go right field corner to left field corner and fit it in.
They said they reconfigured it so you won't have to turn the ball the other direction over and over, which is great.
But I'm saying the only way
nice work, dummies.
That or maybe from center field to home plate. Maybe that can work.
If you do that, you might get to see that there are people on the field, Anish.
It's wild. It's going to be wild. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
And that's what
Purdue football. That's what Purdue football is all about. I'm here to see ridiculous things.
Jay, who's your field pass guy when you go to every sporting event?
You think I'm going to put that out public side? I'm not going to burn my sources. Come on.
Exactly.
Get real.
So those 2 at the end of the year plus one more gets us to 7.
You can get greedy now. This game made a big difference. And as I've said to you guys in the group a number of times, I know you're not allowed to do this, but damn it, that Minnesota game is going to really piss me off. No matter what Purdue ends with, I'm going to be looking at that game. Purdue ends with 7 wins.
It's always one we shouldn't have and one when we should have beaten. Right.
But here's the thing, and I think we all have to do this, right? This is because psychology is stupid, right? If they beat Minnesota, they don't beat Iowa.
I don't think so. And I would much rather you tell that I would much rather have this Iowa win?
I think I can.
The beginning of the year?
I like how we all can't stand Fleck, but we've all made our peace with just all right. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. He's such a joke that you don't hate him the way you hate some of these other programs. You just because he's a little clown. He's just a little clown.
He is a clown.
He's an absolute.
He's going to go somewhere else one day. People actually think Frost is a genius. That's one of the reasons I hate him.
Right.
So
exactly.
I love Nebraska is fully into moral victory season, right? They are 3-5 with like all 5 losses being really close losses to pretty good teams. Good for you guys. Black shirts, baby. You're only losing by a little bit now. You used to lose by a lot. Now you lose by a little bit. But you still lose. You're 3-5.
Sounds like things are turning the corner. That's how you can't just. It's a cruise ship. Nebraska football is not a speedboat. It's a cruise ship or it's a cargo ship. It's a big
landlocked cruise ship.
It's a cruise ship. It's a cargo ship in the Suez. Kind of jackknife sideways, and it's stuck, and it doesn't want to go anywhere. But guess what? The angle is the nose of it is somewhat facing towards the direction you need to go. You're going to need about 700 tugboats to move it all the way out of the way, so it will go the right direction. But The angle.
Many have called Ed Ogeron 700 tugboats.
He does
look at
like
that upper
tugboat.
body. He's got the strength.
That man
He's
is a
got the
tugboat.
strength to do it.
You don't mess with that. Oh,
Nebraska, just first of all, Nebraska has a bye this week. I'm trying not to let that worry me because I don't think the coaching staff is good enough to use that wisely because then they get Purdue. But they have remaining in a weird scheduling thing. Purdue's halfway through their season. Nebraska is 2/3 of the way through their season. They've only got 4 games left. So they have Purdue, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So they need 3 wins out of those 4.
Give me that one more time. Give me that one more time. Sorry.
Versus Purdue. This is Nebraska's remaining schedule. Versus Purdue, versus Ohio State, at Wisconsin, versus Iowa.
Ooh, that's spicy.
We're not going to win 3 or 4. I can tell you that.
No, they're not.
So,
future Nebraska head coach Ed Ogeron.
I don't think Frost will get forced out.
They still are in mad, passionate love for him.
They are. I don't think he's going anywhere, and it's great. Keep him there. Keep
him there forever. Forever.
Extend Ferentz too.
I think they have many times.
Does he have
Ferentz leaves when Ferentz wants to leave?
Brian or Kirk?
Both. Neither
okay.
one. I think Brian takes over for Kirk. In fact, I bet you that's what Kirk's going to try to arrange.
I bet that is absolutely not going to happen because wow, is he a bad
sure
head
that
coach?
will not happen.
He is terrible. If he would have,
they're getting ready for Bert.
It's like every door has been opened for this guy, and he's still so bad at his job. They were talking on the thing like, David Bell chose between Purdue and Iowa in his recruitment. I was like, why would you go play for that? What are you talking about?
A wide receiver playing for Iowa. That's like when wide receivers get recruited by Army or Navy. It's like I'm a wide receiver.
David Bell am I
Penn State was the big one.
Right. Yeah.
And so I have Penn State homies out here that are like, dang it, David Bell is so good.
But they really didn't. For everything I've heard about that recruitment, they really didn't have a shot. He was coming to Purdue. So. And then he's gonna play for the Colts. It's gonna be awesome. He's never gonna have to be with further away than just a few miles from home his whole career. Colts are gonna win a world championship. Purdue's gonna win a national championship.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be great.
All falling into place.
It's all gonna happen. Yep, everything's coming away. And Purdue's gonna go to the Final Four this year.
That's right.
Gosh, I love my life. It's awesome. Everything always goes my way. My hair is going to be restored.
We're at an hour of the show. Just throwing that out there.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, it's so good.
When you're just trashing Iowa, it's the funnest.
Yeah.
Mitch Wright, his comment is: if we get to 6-2, is there a greater than 0 chance game day comes here for the Michigan State game, assuming Michigan State also wins their upcoming games? I mean, is there greater than 0? Sure, because here's a weird thing, and I wanted to mention this.
I don't know who else is playing that week, but
I'm glad Mitch brought this up because the way that we were all surprised that Purdue got ranked. The reason I think you maybe shouldn't be as surprised is because, and we talked about this sort of in some of the previous Handsome Hours, Purdue's gotten some weird respect, right? Remember how they went on the road after a loss, after a loss, and were a double-digit road favorite at Illinois, like. What the hell's going on here? Like, how are they? They were favored against Minnesota. Like, they were getting weird amounts of respect.
Yeah. The country now wants Matt Painter and Jeff Brohm to be great coaches because they're really good and they're both knocking on the door and they're both really respectful. And you can tell the people that report on this stuff can tell the douchebags from the people that are doing this okay. Yep. And they really like them. They really want them to be good. Purdue went from getting 0 votes to being the number 25 team in the country. It's ridiculous.
People want that, not want them, because I mean, point spreads and such aren't based on that, but they've gotten a weird level of respect this year.
And, point spreads are because it's national respect. It's not just like because media influences how the people think about it. Yep. When people think about Purdue, they're like, oh, Rondell Moore, like Jeff Brohm, like all offense, all of this. They don't necessarily see the 3 straight 13-point games. Really, all you remember is stuff like the Ohio State game. We do, which is why it was such a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, man. Could you? So Vortec 4253 has a comment there. Bell and GK leave after this year. Who are the next superstars? For me, this is pretty easy. Karlaftis, he will step right in. all Big Ten right away. Easy peasy. That's no
Little
problem.
Yanni,
I mean,
you don't even have to change the jersey.
no, he just I know he's got different G3. He's
It's
got
fine.
3 on there. It's fine. It'll be fine. And are you guys? Is anybody really worried about Purdue's wide receivers? I'm not being funny here.
No.
I mean, like I'm not worried about him. I really Wright has shown he can catch the ball with his hands now, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He had some grabs, dude. Brock
Sheffield.
Thompson. I just loved yelling Brock Thompson. Sheffield, Rice.
And when the tight
Sullivan,
ends come back, like
I'm not worried about receivers at all. The question for me is who starts at quarterback next year. That's kind of the biggest one for me.
I mean, so is what's the eligibility thing for AOC?
Everybody can come back, right? Because last year didn't.
Because last year was fake.
Like it depends if he wants to, right? Because he's. I think he's
Sindelar could still. Does Sindelar still have
going to?
We could just give Sindelar.
Have you heard that rumor that we just started? Sindelar is coming back. Yep. You heard it here first because it doesn't
35 years old, Elijah Sindelar still got a year of eligibility. Still can't just
of an arm. He's just throwing reports around at Subaru, I think is where he works. So that's all he does with that big arm now is just throw papers
through walls,
keeping the arm healthy. Jeez. So, I don't know who's going to transfer. I don't know who's going to stay, but here's what I know. It doesn't matter because Jeff Brohm's winning a national championship next year.
That's it. All of a sudden. Next year.
Oh, yeah. Well, this year.
Georgia's got
They got an outside track. They're probably not going to do it this year. Yeah, it'd be harder. But, I wouldn't rule them out.
Oh, it's so stupid. It's all so stupid.
Yeah. Jalen Graham. So here's the guy right there. Kevin Spry has a great point about Jalen Graham. Jalen Graham, to me, is a guy that I really don't want to see him go to the NFL, but I think he's good enough right now. I think he's such a difference maker. The good news is he's been relatively quiet. Like Purdue fans know who he is. I know he can guard any tight end in America. He's athletic as a defensive back still. Jalen Graham is a superstar in the making. That's one thing. Second thing, Trice with another year is going to be awesome. You have Trice and Brown as corners on the outside next year. All of a sudden, Purdue's defensive backfield looks monstrous if Jalen Graham can stay. Because Jalen Graham, I know he plays LB, but his ability to drop back in pass coverage is awesome. It's incredible. I love the way things pan out next year if you can keep 2 out of the 3 defensive coordinators, or there are 5 defensive coordinators.
Yeah,
regardless,
they're all
you should always have 3 defensive coordinators. It's a great
shout
idea.
out to Ron English, to Mark Hagan, who are the other Cocos. They're the Cocos, and then Brad Lambert, right? I mean, like, it's a dream staff. Like all of a sudden, like you put it together. This is the program running, right? That we were kind of hoping that would happen. And wow, is this defense not a fluke?
No, not a fluke. Not a fluke at all. And the other rumor that I'm starting right now is that Jeff Brohm actually let Brian call some plays last year, and that's last week, and that's why it's so good. There's no reason to believe this rumor, but I'm starting it.
Do we think that we see the 3-headed quarterback, the 3-headed quarterback monster this weekend again, or was that a one-time thing?
Nope, I think they'll do it again. And I think the funny thing is that the toe has been dipped in the water, and everybody loved it. And they're like, "Ooh, what can we do now?" so maybe you'll come in, you'll see maybe 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time, and really get all hockey silly about it.
Yeah,
why not?
Just put them all on the field. Who cares? Just put them all.
We're over an hour now, so I want to.
Plumber split out right, Burton out left, AOC in the gun.
Okay. Is Purdue going to win this weekend? It's time to. Well, I guess we have time. It's only Monday, but someone asked earlier, will there be a handsome hour every night this week? And I said, I don't know about that.
We barely get off the ground as it is.
They were shocked by a Monday handsome hour, but we couldn't wait. We couldn't wait to talk to you all.
I know. It was just, I spent the whole weekend just laughing, just to myself, laughing like the Joker.
I saw you shake your head, Anish.
No, I will never predict a Wisconsin win. I will never do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I can't. I've been scarred. They're not good. Purdue went to overtime with them, double overtime with them a couple of years ago. Yeah. I think I was rudely watching that game at a wedding, to be entirely honest, if we're being perfectly honest. No, I can't.
Rudely watching it. Were you cursing?
Yeah. It was an IU. It was my IU fans' wedding and my IU friend fans' wedding. He knew what he was getting into. No, I don't. I can't see it. I can
see it.
I can, but I can't call it.
I can totally see it, but I'm not predicting it.
Yeah.
I think they should beat Wisconsin, but I'm not predicting it.
Yes, Purdue wins.
Whoa.
Yes, I've been convinced.
It was a pretty convincing performance. I mean, like,
Purdue
it wasn't
plays
close.
like that. That's the team we've been looking for. The defense to continue doing what they've done every game. Let's be honest. The defense has never wavered from being that defense. Nope. They finally got the takeaways that they had. Talk about regression, right? And we kept talking about how are they not getting takeaways? They're playing really well.
Right.
Got a bunch of them. Now, 3 of them shouldn't really count when you talk about padding your stats. 3 were in the last 3 minutes of the game.
No, but 2 of them. So I would actually say 2 of them. No. 2. Like the first one was the one that kind of iced it. There were 2 that were real garbage time stuff.
Right.
But
like the 4 picks, it wasn't really a 4
that's not real
game.
No,
I'll take them. But anyway, you had the defense doing what they've done all year consistently, and now the offense finally doing all we asked of them to do was just score some points. Just score points. And it wasn't full of gadget plays. 0 gadget plays, I believe.
Right. Well, yeah, but the quarterback, I would call that
kind of a gadget.
That was the gadget.
Misdirection, confusing.
Yeah. But that was perfect. That's all you need,
especially against that.
Week 10, Week 10, Purdue versus Michigan State is the only ranked is one of 2 ranked against ranked opponents currently. The other one is Auburn A&M. That being said, I am now looking at the schedule, and I think game day should go Iowa versus Northwestern. I think game day should go to Northwestern for the most entertaining game of the season. Wow. Just 2 powerhouses, 2 entertaining brands of football.
I think that Purdue should beat Wisconsin. I think that they won't beat Wisconsin, and then they'll never be ranked again.
Then they'll beat Ohio State or something stupid.
I'll take that.
There's no reason not to beat Wisconsin this weekend, and that's why I can't.
Here's a good point that Josh Clark and many other people bring up. What's the weather like? Let's check the weather forecast.
I'll check right now.
Well, they're down the weatherman. Why don't we?
It's always been. I've been 100% right this year, right?
In terms, like not on the weather, but when the weather, turns against us, I think it's going to be okay. It says
looks pretty. We're looking at 60 and sunny. 3 o'clock kickoff.
Before Tech, partly cloudy and 60. Purdue wins by 50 points. You heard it here first.
There you go.
I think it's got to happen sometime. They're at home. They're better. They have a better record. They're ranked. They've played better. Wisconsin has a similarly poor quarterback, I believe, and they always kind of have quarterbacks who aren't that talented.
Guys, I got bad news. Hold on, I don't mean to interrupt, Jay, but I was just looking at that weather report. That was not for this year. That was for a couple of years ago, and I want to apologize. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. I probably should get a phone that's a smartphone instead of looking these things up on a dial-up.
2007 iPhone?
Yeah, I'm looking up. It's actually an old Indiana Bell rotary dial phone. That's how I get all my stats and my weather reports. So I'm sorry, guys. I just disregard that weather report.
What a fun hour we've spent together laughing at Iowa.
Yeah,
talking about I could do it in the margin. Chris Harder asks waffle or pancakes. Michael Hogg says I have to go with French toast.
French toast is better than both of them.
French toast is pretty good.
Yeah, but it's a different class of thing. Where they're not. You can't. I mean, like
French toast is healthy. It's got the protein.
Aristocrat.
It's French.
It's French too. It's healthy and it's French, so it's
got protein.
It's highbrow. It's protein. It's like that's a building block of a healthy diet.
1974. Look, he already made the joke. You two. You don't get to.
Yeah, gosh, you don't have to pile on. Man, you don't come here for. We've said it for
accuracy.
A long time. Whenever anybody says that we're journalists, we always laugh at it. We're like, we don't know anything. We just talk about stuff what we feel like, and it sometimes has some it's rooted in truth. Sometimes it's just me making crap up.
Sometimes it's just me laughing for
Exactly.
an
Sometimes
entire weekend.
Anish laughing for 55 minutes during the shower,
Just
you
the
know?
entire.
Yeah.
I forgot until halfway through this that we were ranked.
So good. So good.
It's because you've never seen it. It's
Oh,
great.
I've never been on a podcast with you two while Purdue was ranked. This is the first time.
We've never done a podcast
Whoa.
with Purdue ranked. Never. We weren't doing podcasts in 2007. We didn't. There were no podcasts, I don't think.
Yeah, no. You guys had, I think it just started.
No.
I think
Because
it was
06 was the start, but did you guys not start
We didn't do
podcasting?
podcasts
We started
year.
right after. That's exactly right?
Yeah, I think we started
Like
podcasting.
right
This is
after.
congratulations. You've
170
been
pods
listening
in.
to the first podcast, first Boiled Sports podcast while Purdue was
ranked.
ranked.
That's
We
a
have
big
done
deal, guys.
what is this, Anish? 170? 171?
Yes,
That's ridiculously
171.
stupid.
171 podcasts before we got to do one talking about a ranked football team. Oh my goodness, what are we doing?
What a
with our
And we're
waste
lives?
of
still
time.
doing it. And we're still doing it.
With our
What an
lives?
utter waste of time. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Mercy. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Everyone who's joined us live, really appreciate it. Sorry, we couldn't get to all these comments. They all look very, very intelligent. Really highbrow stuff. But we got to go because Jay has to get another snack in him, and I'm on vacation. Until we talk to you next week, maybe it'll be this week. We don't know. It probably won't be, but
Who knows?
who knows? Love you guys. Good night. Visit Martin Vintage. Visit AJ's. Visit Derek at Gridiron Metalworks.